Here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Swag.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Contact there entering turn 1.
Around goes the 9. Oh, he comes back up the track and he gets splattered. Josiah picks it up into the air. Hello and everybody, welcome to the VSPEED 125 at the Glen here for the Watkins Glen International. Man, we are set up for a great race tonight. The second race of the chase for the BTDY Cup, the BTDY Racing Series. About to set green, about to go green, about to grid in about a minute and a half. Ben Bafford has put it on the pole here for tonight's race. Jeff Wright, our points leader, will be starting second. And man, it is great to be back at the booth. I'm looking forward to it, and while everybody's tuning in here, I recommend you grab yourself a nice cold beverage, maybe something a little snack on during the race. It should be a fun, really hard-fought race tonight. It's going to be entertaining. Stick around. We'll be back for a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back for the starting lineup for tonight's VSPEED 125 at the Glen.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
We're back here for the VSPEED 125 at the Glen, setting up to take the grid right now. Out there on the track, Ben Bafford with an impressive lap, and he's going to start on the pole here tonight with a 113.183. I don't know how these guys do it, man. I've never been able to get down to the 113s. It's incredible. a good lap for me is like a 1:15 here at Watkins Glen. And that's cooking. But Jeff Wright barely gets beat out by 100th of a second to go back to second place. Taking you on through the rest of this grid, you've got Joshua Banks in third position with Keith Maiato in fourth. Yusuf Ghali in fifth position, Adam Cabot sixth. Seventh spot's going to belong to the back-to-back winner, Bailey Turner, and Chris Simard in eighth position. Then you have Eric Hutton and David Shieldhouse rounding out your top 10.
Ryan Gibble, good to see him back. He'll be in 11th. Dennis Faircloth will be 12th. Noah Mikulski will be 13th. Mark McFadden 14th. AJ Stravado struggling to qualifying 15th. 16th, Reggie Ortega. 17th, Ronnie Osborne, but I believe he's withdrew. 18th, Casey Lakatos. 19th, Nick Starling. 20th, Justin Carey. And rounding out the field is Max Cost here for tonight. I got to ask you, Bradley, a short pace lap. Who do you got? Who's your pick?
I don't know. I tell you what, Jeff Wright has been really unstoppable at these tracks. But I'm gonna go out and say Yusuf Ghali gets it done.
Ooh,
I think he can pull it off.
I got Keith Maiato winning. He's so good here. I think he can get it done. Beat Jeff Wright and Ben Baffert as the pace car pulls off a very short, sweet pace lap. And here we go. Green flag, and we're underway for the VSPEED 125 at the Glen. 3 wide going into turn 1 already.
3 wide as they come down into turn 1, and it's tough. Yusuf Ghali already cutting to the inside of Joshua Banks. That puts Maiato outside the groove, and you'll see a lot of these guys use a little bit of that extra track there on the exits of these corners. It is, I guess it can help if you need a good runoff, but sometimes guys will get to your inside and get an easy pass on you.
And as everybody single files out, and then Eric Hutton pokes out a line. He's up in 8th. Banks in 7, under attack. Shieldhouse is set, gets 1, gets the 2-for-1 special into the bus stop, hopping over the curbs for the first time tonight of 40 laps. The first stage at lap 12, might I point out. The only other race other than the Roval that has stages in it, so there will be a stage caution at lap 12, and that will also be another bonus point. And might I also point out 1.5 bonus points here to the stage winner, like I said, at lap 12, as Ben Baffert leads him into turn number 6. And you'll see these guys use a lot of runoff. Yusuf Ghali goes way wide up in the corner, gets out of the corner now, but loses some time to the top 2. And like you said, we'll see a lot of racing guys going off the track, using all the racetrack they can get. If there's asphalt on it, these guys are going to try to use it as much as they can as into the braking zone for the second time here. Jeff Wright pressuring Ben Baffert, looks to drivers right, cannot get there, but Jeff Wright going to put a lot of pressure on the 23 of Baffert.
Baffert's been pretty solid thus far, leads lap 1 and gets around this place clean and shiny side up. And as they work through the S's, the real technical parts of this track, uphill in this B car, it's a handful. We were racing here a couple weeks ago in another league, and watching these guys take it in 4th gear because 3rd gear was so out of control. It's so hard to get traction. And we're racing this place in sunny, clear skies, so I can only imagine how greasy it is out there.
Yeah, these guys are sliding around. You'll see a lot of curb usage here. You'll see these guys come right over that curb. Baffert gets all 4 tires on it, just using that runoff to carry as much momentum as you can. AJ Stravado so far believes the biggest mover, started 15th already, up inside the top 10. Yusuf Ghali up to 3rd. He's up 3 spots, but you can see the nose, just carries the nose a little bit too much. This car a little bit on the tighter side, so you can see guys kind of track out wide, and these cars are so sensitive to this H-pattern gearbox, to wheel hop. Wheel hop is when you lock those rear tires, they start chattering, and sometimes you might even go around here from downshifting either too quick or just downshifting in the wrong spots is right, trying to get as much traction as he can off of the corner. Won't be able to get there as Baffert now opens up a 2-car length lead up to the S's. You'll see these guys go up from 3rd gear up to 4th about right here. Try to clip that curb and then set up for a little bit of a straightaway, and then they'll go down into what is maybe some of the most fun corners on any road course in the world, the bus stop. A hard, fast-paced charging corner where you'll absolutely send it in. You'll see Baffert come right over the curb, get 1 curb, gets the 2nd curb. He'll even get a 3rd curb, and maybe gets a 4th curb, as you can see. Maybe over the curbs too much. You don't want to slide these tires around. I know it's a 12-lap run. You'll see guys pushing a little bit more. Once we get to the 2nd stage, you'll see guys try to conserve the tires a little bit more. But still, nonetheless, a great equalizer here in this stage. Get track position while you can, because pit stops, and again, before that stage, the pits will close. Is anybody going to try to get strategy, baby the tires, and then try to get track position at the end of it?
Yeah, I think the strategy here is if you pit, you're going to pit right before that cutoff. So you come out, you don't wear those tires down on that out lap. Then the stage competition caution, if you will, in my opinion, comes out. You put yourself in a better position because it's so tough to pass here.
It is. Travato underneath David Shieldhouse to driver's right. He'll get the spot and move up into the 9th position. Shieldhouse back into 10th. The guy who got second at the roll up into 9th. Shieldhouse who got third in what was an amazing battle with Ben Baffert. He's fallen back to 10th. And how about Chris Samart closing up as well? This field's starting to get a little more strung out. 18 cars here tonight. So I know it's a road course. A lot of guys, not a big road course, or fans of road courses. Us, a big road course fan is, Adam Cabot up into the grass. Gets through. That's going to allow Banks to get by. And Banks moves up to 6th. Banks trying to put in that hard charge points battle. He's fallen. He's lost a few points. He's had a couple of rough races, but now he's just trying to get himself back in the position. As that Eric Hunt peeks to driver's left of Adam Cabot. He'll think better of it. Backs out. Cabot 7. Eric Hunt up in 8th. And talking to the winner of the last 2 races, Bailey Turner, he was saying he expects Eric Hunt and him to be battling for 6th and Bailey Turner 5th. Eric Hutton in 8th right now, trying to get by Adam Cabot, who is Bailey Turner's teammate.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing left to be done. This track is mainly survival of the fittest. Whoever can be out here the longest and have the best average lap time, you really just have to race the track and not the guys around you. It's really easy to make a mistake and do that. You start pushing yourself. You say, well, he's pulling out 0.3 seconds. If you're Jeff Wright right now behind Ben Baffert, 0.3 of a second, as soon as you start to shave or try to push, that's when the mistakes are made. Now, same thing for Baffert. He's in front. He sees that lead start to shrink. What does he do? He starts pushing it to maintain that gap. And that could be the difference where you miss a mark, you overshoot a corner. You hit one of the turtles, as we like to call them.
Oh,
it's very, very easy. You have 11 opportunities to mess it up.
I don't think there's turtles on this track, at least, but those curves, man, those curves are massive.
Oh, it's like running over a turtle, man.
You're in trouble. And Ben Baffert, he's got the lead. He's led every single lap so far. Jeff Wright, man, he's a heck of a road course racer. Absolutely dominated at the Roval. It wasn't even a contest. Baffert, he's not too bad here. Watkins calls it one of his better tracks. Ooh, Wright, man, really missed the corner there. But Baffert, he won here in the Next, I believe, 2 seasons ago. And pretty decent beating on the field there that week. So far, he's gotten to about a half a second gap. It's all if he can maintain it. The worst thing you could do on this road course is be worrying about what's in your mirror. And I tell you what, I made the mistake of worrying about what's in my mirror, and it's really bit me here. Any little mistake here, this is a very momentum-based road course. You do not want to make any mistakes here because it can open the opportunity up for somebody to pass you. And speaking of opening up opportunities to get past, Eric Hutton has fallen back to the 33 car, the 33 up to the S's, up into turn number 4. Now down this backstretch, Travato loses the nose a little bit in air, but he'll try to attack on the going into the bus stop. Dennis Faircloth really, really loose off of that of the S's there. And you can see Eric Hunt just misses the bus stop there. Now it'll create Travato to peek a nose to driver's left here, or driver's right. He'll get right to that corner panel, trying to loosen up the 88. As you can see, gets into the back just a little bit, slides the rear end off the corner. Now Hutton lays over, and there goes Travato to driver's left, and he'll go right on by. And now Travato up into the 8th position.
Travato's moving through this field. He started back in the 15th position, but he overshoots that corner. That's second to last, and that's going to lose him 2 spots maybe.
Gets over the curb now. Shieldhouse trying to cross him over. Won't be able to do it. And now Shieldhouse back up into the 10th position, looking for 9th. Does he try to go for the move? No, he doesn't. Thinks better of it. Now follows Travato right into the corner. Locks up the left front tire and misses it. Here comes Samart. Get a little bit of a run here.
We're watching this lead gain a little bit. And this is kind of strange because Jeff Wright usually is leading these things and walks away.
Tell you what, Jeff Wright, though, looking at the lap times, he's been about 0.3 of a second faster. Where he's getting that time, I'm not sure. And the real question is Baffert trying to save his tires? Like I said, I know it's a 12-lap run, 4 laps until the stage here, 4 laps until the pits close, 6 laps until we get to the caution. And tell you what, this field's kind of getting from the mid-pack. These top 4 are starting to pull away from 5th place Bailey Turner. Even though Baffert has a 0.4 of a second lead, Wright's not letting him go. And if Baffert wants to mess up, make any mistake, Wright can pounce. And I'll tell you what, Yusuf Ghali is keeping these guys right ahead of him. He's kept about a 1.5 second gap to Baffert and Wright. All it takes here is these two to start battling a little bit, and then Yusuf Ghali can capitalize. Same with Keith Mayato, turning about equal lap times with the leaders. And so far, Baffert, with that clean air, he's going to be able to pull away. He's obviously got the best track position. Nobody ahead of him or Wright. Ghali, you know, they're in some air, they're in some traffic, which could affect the handling of their cars. Bailey Turner goes wide. That allows Joshua Banks to close up here for the 5th position.
The S's here. I don't know if I'd want to pass a very technical part of the track. And you ever come up over the hill and see a car sideways in the middle of the track through there?
Oh yeah, many times. It's just there's so much weight transitions, and it really affects the handling of these cars. If you either overstep their left rear, you might slide the right rear off the corner. You can see Banks gains a ton into the braking zone of the bus stop, and just can't hold it to the exit. As Bailey Turner able to hold on to that position. Banks had a nice run going into it, was able to keep it through the bus stop, but just couldn't get it on exit here. As Bailey Turner using a little more runoff there compared to Banks. Might have costed him a little time. Maybe that runoff is worth just a couple hundreds to pull away here. As Turner just struggling to get front turn in that car. You can see him kind of plow up the racetrack there, and that's just allowing Banks to get ever so closer. And here you can see here, Banks trying to set up that run going into turn number 1. Also, love the cameras that we have today.
Yeah. Thank Dougie Beard over at Podium for these awesome camera angles. Then the 36 locks it up right here in front. Mayato, he saves it, but he loses 3 positions, maybe 4.
Might lose 4 here, even 5 here is safe for Mayato. Curious to see what happened there. If we want to take a replay, to me where he was loose, that had to have been maybe a wheel hop, and I think that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, he wheel hopped coming into 1. We'll ride on board with him real quick.
Yeah, I think that was just to see here if we get on board of the VSPEED Chevrolet, banging the gears there, and yeah, just a little wheel hop there. I'm not sure, did he overrev the engine or just a wheel hop?
I think downshift a little too early, and that sent the front end around, but yeah, nonetheless, he's going to lose 4 positions, falls back to the 10th spot.
5.
And he's lost 6 now.
Yeah, continues to drop from 4th all the way back to 10th. Now Eric Hunter under pressure again from AJ Stravato. Stravato has more speed than the 88. We saw him get by him, and then he missed the next corner, allowed the 88 to go by. I think Hutton knows that he's got about as much pace as the 33, and the 33 trying to do his best to get around him, just struggling to be behind in that wake. Look at how much braking zone he's got there. 33 really good on the brakes now, swings it wide, trying to get as much any bit of run he can up to the S's, won't be able to keep it. How about that Eric Hutton, the Brooks and Dunn Chevrolet Camaro? I don't know if you're a country music fan, not too bad of a band duo there. So, but he's just trying, and Eric Hutton, I mean, Eric Hutton's been one of the most consistent drivers all year. 3rd in points for a reason. He had a decent run at Talladega, was able to gain some points on Jeff Wright, but right now, Wright running in 2nd, Hutton running in 7th. All those points that Hutton gained might be lost here as he goes wide into the corner. Oh, AJ Stravato right on the back bumper of the 88. Tries to get to driver's right, trying to loosen him up here out of the S's, or out of the carousel. He'll get right to the bumper. He'll swing it out wide. Hutton now under pressure, side by side with the 33. Stravato now to driver's left, going into turn number 6. Is he going to be able to stick it underneath? No, he won't. Hutton closes the door, but he goes wide.
Yeah, Hutton's closing up that door. He's not really holding up Stravato. Stravato's just not able to get the nose in there when they came out of the carousel. And man, they're both really loose down the front stretch.
And
this is really the place to pass. I think if you can set up the exit down this front straightaway and get to the inside in 1, that's really your best opportunity on this track. And occasionally in the carousel.
And these guys have ran down Adam Cabot in the Atlas 17. Cabot's got to fall into the clutches of Hutton and Stravato. Shieldhouse has kind of lost a little bit of touch with these guys. But up to the S's, Cabot. Oh man, you can see Eric Hutton just gets a little tight there up the hill. And yeah, Cabot's kind of falling back to these guys. He's losing a little time. He was about a second slower than Eric Hutton and AJ Stravato, so trying to get that momentum back. And Watkins Glen, any road course, so rhythmic based. You want to have a good rhythm, getting down through the gears, getting up through the gears, and making sure you can set up exits and entries well. It's all rhythm here, road courses. That's why it takes the most out of a driver here. It's so, you know, when you're racing in real life, very physical, but also mentally challenging. These guys, you just run so hard here that it tests your mental strength, it tests your physical strength here, and especially if you H-pattern shifter. We see guys getting some blisters on their hands.
Yeah, it's a complete lunacy to try to H-pattern this track. I've done it. I've forgotten to, you know, change my settings and got into the track. I lasted maybe 10 laps. It's a totally different feel. I don't know how guys do it, but some guys swear by it. I'm more of a paddle shift guy. You know, I got the Logitech though. I got the Logitech.
Okay.
So,
but you can see 14, Casey Lakatos, Noah Mikulski. Mikulski's put together some really, really strong runs here. I know it's not his best run, but you know, road courses so much different. And to me, the run that stuck out the most for Mikulski was at Texas Motor Speedway, where he just ran so well. As you know, he's kind of carried the 4-band this year as being usually one of the highest running Mustangs all days. Oh, Eric Hutton gets a bumper from the 33 of AJ Stravado up to the S's. Not too much damage on the 88. I think it's all fine, as Hutton's now kind of stuck behind the 17, and that's allowed the 33 to get even closer. We can see Stravado losing it up off of the carousel. They're not going to be able to hold up and hold behind the 10, or sorry, behind the 88, and behind them, Mayato has ran down Shieldhouse, but oh, you can see Cabot goes wide. What is Hutton trying to do? Now Stravado now picking the drivers right now. Hutton to drivers left of Cabot, but he misses the corner. That allows Stravado, as they're coming to the stage caution here. And Ben Baffert has won stage 1. Stravado cannot get Hutton.
Oh, that's a shame.
That is.
Stravado was
really
there.
good.
I thought he was going to pass him. That stage caution freezes the field.
Yeah,
But it saved Eric Hutton, for sure.
It did. It really did. He's kind of thankful that caution comes out, and that has allowed Ben Baffert to get a point and a half. Remember, times 1.5 points for these races. And you got to give Ben Baffert credit. He's interesting, I guess, because they're catching the pace cars, trying to make it as quick as they can. So Ben Baffert, though, wins the first stage, and that sets up the second stage, which will be about a 25-lap run. The question is, can they make it on fuel to the end? Not sure what the fuel tank is going to say. Usually, on a full tank of fuel, I think it's about 25 laps, so a little bit less here might mean you're going to have to pit twice, and that would be splitting this run in half here, so another 12 laps. So
now with the tire sets, I'm not 100% sure, but have they limited the tire set to 1?
They have 3 tire sets. They have 2 laying in the pits right now. So
okay. Well, you can see here pits are open, but Jeff Wright pulls it back out on the track.
Yeah, they're trying to catch the pace car. The pace car's just exiting pit road and gone into the S's. So
yeah, I don't know if the pace car, being that the caution flew the way it did, pit road might have opened up.
It did, but I don't think they can pit at the moment. So everybody's got to catch the pace car before they can pit. So per the rules. So up to the S's here. So we'll stay here for pit stops. Then we'll go to a quick commercial break. But so far, Ben Baffert wins the first stage. You know, how about we pull up our stage winner?
Yeah, pull up Ben Baffert. We'll get a chat with him real quick because he led every single lap from the start of this thing.
He did. Ben Baffert. Alec Martinez, Bradley Cooper in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy?
I do indeed have a copy.
Well, buddy, you lead the first 13 laps, win the first stage. How do we feel for the rest of this race?
If I can keep the rear tires on and keep this thing from plowing through every corner it goes to, I think we're in a good spot. But I think it's first whoever gets on the pit road is just so difficult to pass. I mean, AJ's been stuck behind Eric for 13 straight laps, so we'll see.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck and good luck on the pits.
Absolutely.
All right. Ben Baffert, your stage 1 winner, and see me like track position is king here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. So, you know, this track, I love this track. This track is so awesome. I know the Xfinity cars are great here in real life. I heard the next shit. I know the next shits are kind of fun to drive here, but it's very, very, very interesting to drive the next shits with how much grip they have here. The sequential shifter, the diffuser, all the underbody. It's gonna be interesting here as these upcoming.
Don't touch the grass.
Don't touch the grass. No, that's the worst thing you can do in those cars.
Yeah, coming up on the stage break pit stops, and I look to see the entire field come down pit road, take 4 tires. I don't see any strategies playing out here. I don't think that
everybody's taking forward fuel here as they'll bring it down to pit lane, and Ben Baffert doesn't want to speed into pit road here. Is down the pits they go, leading from the Splash and Go graphics Toyota Supra. It's been a while since the Toyota has been to victory lane in the BTDY Racing Series. Last one, I believe, was Yusuf Ghali at Phoenix. Other than that, Bafford's been winless this season. Last year, he had 2 wins by this point. Same with AJ Stravato. He's unfortunately gone winless this season. So interesting to see here as Bafford misses the stall. Oh, no, he did. He did make it.
He barely made it.
Barely missed his. Oh, Chris Martin misses his stall.
Martin missed it entirely. He drove around pit road, so he's going to be back to the tail end. Yeah, he's going to lose it all.
Great pit stop from Ben Bafford there. Joshua Banks. He beat Bailey Turner. He did not. Turner gets out of pit road there. Banks down to 5th. Bafford wins the race off of pit road. Jeff Wright 2nd. Yusuf Ghali 3rd. Bailey Turner 4th. Joshua Banks 5th. Then Cabot, Hutton, Stravato, Shieldhouse, and Gemmel, your top 10. As the field catches back up to the pace car, we'll go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for the restart in the last 25 laps here for Watkins Glen.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader, known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs. You can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
We're back here, VSPEED 125 at the Glen. Coming up at the end of pacing. These guys are ready to go from that competition caution. Ben Bafford was the stage winner. I called it a competition caution. It was a stage.
Stage caution, yeah. That's what
Stage caution.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben Bafford was 1.5 on that point. And that's going to make all the difference here in this chase with the multipliers.
It has 1.5 point multipliers. Jeff Wright, your point shooter, a 17-point lead over Bailey Turner, who starts right behind him as the pace car will pull off, and that'll mean 23 laps to the end of this race, 24, excuse me, as into the Geico restart zone. Bafford takes away Ghali. Good restart behind, but Wright able to settle in right. If he could close up, it doesn't look like it. Stack up behind. into turn number 1. Cabot gets a little bit of a bump, but everybody gets through turn 1 A-OK, but the battle's on for second as Baffert now trying to open up that lead up to the S's.
Yusuf Ghali to the inside of Jeff Wright. He's going to have to cut it off because those S's are so technical and tight. But now he can get a run maybe into the chicane. The 54 looking now to make a move just before the bus stop.
Where it's going to get tight. Ghali up to the driver's right of Jeff Wright. Wright gets into the corner, able to hold on to the position. Here comes Ghali, gives him a
contact.
shot. Bailey Turner gets into the corner. Now Ghali trying to move right. Baffert scooting away ahead about a second now. Can Ghali get by the 48 of Jeff Wright? Bailey Turner up into 4th. Battle for 5th. 3 wide. AJ Stravato swings it wide under base. Can't get there. Now side by side for the 5th position. Here comes Shieldhouse underneath Stravato.
Almost completely 3 wide through that whole section. Cabot, Banks, Stravato, Shieldhouse, and this is all 6th through 10th position. These guys right on top of each other.
These guys trying everything they can to get positions early in this run. Side by side as Banks now takes 5th away from Cabot. Cabot down to 6th. Now side by side, Cabot now peeks underneath Banks to driver's right. Won't get there. Side by side behind them for 7th. Stravato, Shieldhouse. Shieldhouse slides off the corner. That allows Mayato to get to driver's right of Shieldhouse.
Through the assesses, they're going to have to make quick work of this. If Shieldhouse is going to hold any weight here,
will.
he's going to...
Oh,
Hey,
man,
I tell you-
Mayato tight.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mayato,
Lakanis.
it's pushing.
Lakanis up to 10.
Yeah, this car seems like it's really shoving the nose around. They can't even get through the S's, so somebody's really tightened this machine up for this setup this week.
Yeah, this car's a lot more tighter, and these cars tend to be a little bit more tighter, but just won't be able to get there. As everybody getting through, I believe Dennis Faircloth and Noah Mikulski might have made a little contact, a little damage to the 10 cars just to carry up to the 15th position. Looks like Eric Hutt has some damage. He's falling outside the top 10. He's down to 12th, so Mard up to 13th. What it looks like here is everybody getting through the turn number 6 and up into turn number 7, and it's the battle for the lead starting to tighten up. Has Jeff Wright figured out a way to get by Ben Baffert? Baffert has led every single lap so far.
Yeah, Baffert, 17 laps led. Now 18. It was worth starting lap 19. Jeff Wright, he's on the bumper. He just... Where is he going to go? This car is so tight, he's going to have to do it in a really slow corner.
That is going to have to force Baffert into a mistake. Baffert gets tight there. This should allow Wright to get a run. Right behind the 23. Baffert slides up the racetrack. Here comes Jeff Wright to driver's right. He peeks down, but he'll back off of the corner, and that allows Baffert to keep the lead up into the bus stop.
But he's so lucky for Baffert that happened where it did, but he's going to try it again into the carousel.
Right to driver's right. No pun intended there. Wright trying to get the lead. He makes contact with Baffert. Baffert shoved at the racetrack, but side by side down the short chute here for the lead.
23 has the advantage here. He has the advantage into this corner.
Pass him over here. No, he's going to stay to the corner panel. He's going to be now. Wright has the advantage into turn number 7.
Oh, it is tight racing.
Oh, Wright loose off the corner. Can Baffert get back to the gas? Side by side, going into turn 1. Jeff Wright again with the advantage. Baffert holds on to the lead with the lap lead, but now Wright to driver's right here. Can he get the position? They both slide up. Baffert misses the corner. Here comes Yusuf Ghali closing in on the battle as well. And
Yusuf
Jeff Wright
Ghali
takes the lead.
Jeff Wright finally. Oh, they're contacting the S's. He moved him a little bit. I don't know how Jeff Wright held on to that.
Yusuf Ghali. Ghali now to the outside of Ben Baffert. Ghali moves up, trying to get second away. Wright trying to pull away here for the lead.
Yeah, these guys behind him starting to get the race in. That's going to allow Wright to pull away pretty easy. And you see Yusuf Ghali just ramped that curb through the bus stop. Caught some major air in the left front of that car completely off the ground.
And
this has allowed Bailey Turner to catch up to this pack as well.
Oh, what happened then? I mean, Ben Baffert is He hasn't been in dirty air all race. Now he's put behind the 8 ball here. He led every lap until this one as Jeff Wright went out with the lead, and he's got about a half a second advantage over the 23, actually almost a second, as now Yusuf Ghali has closed into this battle as well. He's sitting about 2 car lengths behind Ben Baffert. Jeff Wright leads his first lap of the day, and a bonus point to the 48's name as well to extend that points lead and to extend that championship run in his sophomore season for Jeff Wright, as Dennis Faircloth makes a pass on Noah Makowski here for 14th. Other than that, everybody's staying single-filed out here so far. The real clump of cars is where we get to Baffert, Ghali, Turner, Banks, and then a little bit behind Estravato, able to get by his teammate Adam Cabot. That's allowed David Shieldhouse to close in as well for 7th.
Fieldhouse has kind of had a rough day today, but this is probably the highest position he's been in since the start of this race. He's in 8th position right behind Adam Cabot.
Oh, really? In the grass there.
And Stravato gets loose in the entry of the carousel. I tell you what, Stravato's struggling, and that's unusual. We've seen him do pretty decent at the Roval.
Yeah, and Stravato, great road racer. He races a lot of road, but like I said, we started 15th. He's up to 6th here. He's doing a phenomenal job right now, getting track position. Remember, long red ears. Oh,
Shieldhouse way off the track there in turn 6.
That's going to cost him 1 position to Keith Mayato into the 36 here. Other than that, everybody doing what they need to do. So far, Jeff Wright opened up about a 2nd lead over Ben Baffert. He's got the clean air and the championship leader, now the race leader. As he's starting to pull away, can Baffert come back and get by him? He talked about how good clean air was. Wright was able to take it away from him. Remember, a long run here. The question is, what's the fuel situation going to look like? How much are they going to be able to push it?
Yeah, if it's 20 laps, I don't know. Do you split this run at like lap 27, lap 28 maybe?
I don't know. That's if they can make it on fuel. I'm not really sure how much fuel they're going to have in their tanks here. Looking at it, I don't see anybody yet with their fuel tanks here and what they might have here. So that's going to be the real question.
Coming up on lap 23, Jeff Wright has opened it up to 0.8 of a second over Ben Baffert. Yusuf Ghali, 1.5 seconds. That's about the gap that we saw before. Yusuf Ghali maintained that 1.5, but he never really could reel those guys back in before that stage cost him.
Baffert has kind of cut the gap down about 0.3 of a second this last lap, so we'll see what happens. It's unfortunate. I believe Mark McFadden has taken it behind the garage here in the 22 car, but that last lap, Baffert about 1/10 of a second faster.
Back here to Bailey Turner, who's had a string of excellent races, 2 wins back-to-back for the 24 team. And they're looking to capitalize on that momentum, running in the top 5 currently. And this is not a slouch day for the 24. I know his confidence level has to be peaking through the roof this week.
It has to be, and up to 4th. Like you said, the track position being so much of an advantage here so far from what it seems. And a shout out to Joshua Banks. As I said, he gets very loose, but Banks having a solid run here at Watkins Glen. You know, he kind of struggled at the Roval. And I don't know if he was there at the Roval, but
yeah, he was there.
Banks having a much better run here at Watkins Glen than he did at the Roval. At the Roval now, but I'll tell you what though, he's going to have some pressure from 33 of AJ Stravato.
Yeah, Stravato's starting to turn
there
up
he
the
goes.
heat. There he goes to the inside at turn
loose
6. A really quick work of him. I think he's going to be good and clear. 33 is on fire right now. One at a time.
I'll tell you what, he is on a charge. The question is he going to have enough time to maybe get up to Baffert, get up to Jeff Wright? It just doesn't seem like he has the pace yet. As the top 2 are starting to gap the 3rd place driver of Yusuf Ghali, and Yusuf Ghali's kind of falling back to the clutches of the 24 car.
Yeah, I think Ghali had an off lap there as the last time by he ran a 14.5 to these guys with a 14 flat. So I think he just had a little hiccup there, a little mistake. And that right front damage you could see on that 54 car. That was from the restart. Got into the back of, I believe, Jeff Wright.
Yeah.
Trying to make a pass before that bus stop.
Yeah, and so far, is it affecting Yusuf Ghali's car? Maybe. Jeff Wright's car seems to be doing just fine as he has opened up about a 0.9 of a second gap. Now staying about even here with the 48 or the 23 of Ben Baffert here. Baffert slowly but surely closed up the gap here.
Yeah, down to 0.8. And he is matching or beating the lap times of Jeff Wright. It's just too
And they're
bad, though.
close.
Yeah. I know that the start of this run is probably the best opportunity for Jeff Wright to get by Ben Baffert because of the fresh tires.
As the tires get older, the worse these cars are going to be when you're following behind somebody. Although Ben Baffert closed up quite a few tenths there, close up of actually 0.2 of a second faster.
Yeah.
Is Baffert trying to push Jeff Wright? He hasn't made too many mistakes this year. Is Baffert going to have to force him into one is the question, as third place is well far back here. Baffert continuing to close up. But right now, I'll tell you what, up to the S's is about the worst the car will handle in traffic. And Baffert being in traffic here, he loses about 1/10 up the S's, but he's able to get that draft down the straightaway, which hopefully, in his case, should close up the battle or close up the gap here, but then into another aerodynamic few corners, although he is closing up a ton into this bus stop. I mean, look at the gap that he continues to gain on Jeff Wright.
Yeah, he's got it down under for half a second. And through the carousel, he's not taking it quite as wide.
They were cutting really loose into the bus stop there. Almost went around third place in points, struggling here so far, up down to 10th.
Go back and take a look at that really quickly. He hits that chicane a little weird, takes it out wide, but he's able to nurse it back. And he had the 6 car almost get into him, and Ryan Gamel. That was a close one.
Very close in the battle for the lead, heating up once again down to 3 car lengths here at Watkins Glen. What do we got? 15 laps to go from the Glen, the VSPEED 125 from the Glen. Baffert closing up to the 48. Baffert led the first 20 laps. Wright has led the laps all since then, but Baffert trying to pressure that 48, the 48 with some clean air.
Yeah, the clean air is going to be really helpful for the 48, especially through this part of the track. It's going to make all the difference in the S's. So if I'm Ben Baffert, I just try to maintain this right now. You know you have to pit. I think we go one more lap to the 48. Yeah, I think we come down pit road and just try to win that race.
He just gains so much in the bus stop that it's, he gains about 10, I mean maybe 2 or 3 car lengths into the bus stop. He's able to maintain it on exit.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of guys where they they're able to get it down and they'll get it nice into the bus stop, but after that they just lose on exit. It's Baffert closing up more and more right. Just doesn't seem like he has the front turn in that car that the 23 has. Is it maybe a little bit of a brake biased adjustment on the 23 as he's in air, but Baffert closes it up to about 2 car lengths. Now going to click off lap number 27 of 40. Can Jeff Wright hold on to this lead?
It's looking like it's more and more of a challenge for the 48 as they come into the first turn. Through this part, though, is where he starts to gain a little time on Baffert. It's that dirty air up this hill.
It is, and as AJ Stravato just got by the 24 of Bailey Turner, now that's allowed Joshua Banks to close up. Turner has got to hold on to these spots. He cannot afford to lose these spots, especially with the 48 leading this race.
Yeah, Bailey's going to have to get back around
right
and get...
over the curb! That's going to allow Baffert to get to him! Wright made a little bit of a mistake. He hopped the curb a little bit too much. Baffert able to get some clean air to the left front headlight. Can that allow Ben Baffert to close up? We know Baffert's aggressive. We know he's willing to make a move to get that lead. He peeks the driver's left, but Jeff Wright able to hold position.
Oh, Wright just has to hit his marks. Pay attention to that. Don't look at the mirror. Easier said than done.
Baffert's got a nice run here off of turn number 7 and down on the front stretch. Can Wright hold on to this position? Will Baffert try to go? No, he backs off, trying to set Wright up for exit.
Right up on the bumper, and he gives him a little bumper love. There is some damage now in the left rear.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Baffert wasn't maybe too happy about losing the lead, but he gave some damage to the 48. How much is that going to affect Wright's car, or will it affect Baffert's car if he's got some, nose damage here? But that propelled Wright up to about a half a second now.
Yeah, and the checkup. I don't think that Ben Baffert meant to do that into one. He just had such a run coming down that front stretch. Baffert
gets over the curb there, and he cuts to about another 1/10 of a second. Will that be a slowdown penalty for Baffert? It seemed like he cut it quite a lot.
I don't know.
I think so.
Good run off the carousel here. He's going to shave a 10th off again.
See, Yusuf Ghali just trying to ease his stuff right now? I know Stravato turning some good laps here as Banks and Turner still going at it, but nothing No, not close enough yet to make a move this time. Maybe we'll have a chance at Bailey Turner if a mistake was to happen. But this lead, man, this lead is heating up again.
Yeah, they're back down to 0.2 of a second. This is just, these guys, we look away from them, and then they're right back on top of each other. I don't think Bafford's going to give him the horn anymore.
Right, the corner. That's going to allow Bafford to get a nice run up to the S's. Wright's going to have to keep that position here. He'll have to clean air up through the hill. But Bafford, he's within striking distance.
Dirty air again through the S's.
He was able to hold on quite well, but he loses the nose right there.
Yeah, that dirty air is not helping him by any means, but here we go through the bus stop. This is where Bafford has done his best work. Let's see what he can do this time through.
Oh, man, he's so close to clipping that guardrail there.
Oh, they all
Bafford
are.
seems so much better in every part of the course other than the S's. Wright has the advantage, but when we get to everywhere else, it just doesn't seem like enough as we go to David Schildhaus in ninth, struggling right now, getting ran down by the 88 of Eric Hutton. Up at the front, though, Bafford now closed in within 2 seconds. I would argue that Bafford's way better in turns 6 and 7. Wright just doesn't have the rotation in that 48 to keep that nose down, and that allows Bafford to get ever so close. You can see
a little
he just
bit by the
misses
time.
that curve there. Now Bafford's gonna run right loose off the corner.
There's the move now into 1.
To get Bafford get the lead. 10 or 11 laps to go on the board. Bafford backs out of it now into turn number 1. He wheel hops into the corner now, side by side. Can Wright hold on? He hits the curb. Bafford back to the lead in turn number 2.
Up through the S's, Wright seeing the lead slip away.
Oh, Bafford got tight. But right here is where Wright might lose the nose. You can see just can't get back into the gas. Now with the draft, just won't be enough. Bafford able to clear up into the bus stop.
Wow, they clipped the wall.
Right, I think Wright got the wall.
I think they both did.
They both may have. No, they look clean on the sides from what I
need
can
to
tell.
go back and look real quick. That is so close. Ah, man, I
Yeah,
think
that was
Bafford clipped it. We're going to see it one
Bafford
more
may
time.
have.
See it one more time.
I'm curious if we have an onboard with Bafford to hear if we clipped it or not. I don't see any damage on his car, so. See, onboard with Jeff Wright here. I mean, they cut it so close to that wall. I mean, he might be grazed it. I think Wright hit it more than Bafford, I think, would have. His Jeff Wright right now, he's just sliding all over the racetrack. He's losing that nose in dirty air, and Bafford's opened up already a half a second lead. 10 laps to go here.
Bafford pulls it out half a second. Yusuf Ghali, who is 2.8 seconds back. A little nose damage on that 54, but he's in a good spot for a podium as long as he holds on to it.
He is. He's pulling a little bit of a gap over AJ Stravato. He's got about a 2-second gap over Stravato right now. The battle is going to be for sixth with Adam Cabot closing up on the back bumper of Joshua Banks up to the S's. Just can't carry the nose, so he just loses the nose. So I believe Ryan Gimmel has pulled into the garage as well as Dennis Faircloth, leaving 14 cars remaining
Max
on the
Costa
racetrack.
also
Yes.
taking it off the track. So a few of these guys struggle here tonight. We still have 14 cars out there on the speedway. Justin Carey being the last car on the track. Noah Mikowski at 13th. Casey Licata's 12th. These guys outside the top 10. And we saw Chris Simard miss his pit stall. He never did recover from that.
No, he's down in 11th right now, and he's just nobody around him to run down. Eric cutting a little bit up the road. As right now, David Schildhaus, he's cut it to about 3 car lengths here.
And these guys pretty close. And we know we talked to Schildhaus a little bit before about road courses, and he knew that he was just going to come out here and drive.
Oh, Jeff Wright has missed the corner. He almost spun it into the corner there. Really,
wow.
really struggling.
Yeah, he
was
lost
running
a ton of time.
but he's going to lose about a half a second.
That lead grows a little bit more. Lap 32 out of 40, 8 to go. Ben Bafford is just, he's checking out.
Yeah, he's been on it, and we saw him. He led the first 20 laps, lost the lead about 6 or 7 laps, and then from there, he was able to get it back. And so far, he's running away, but man, he is clipping that curb hard.
I mean, once you get that muscle memory,
Yeah.
it's just, that's what this track
really
really
though,
is.
it's going to knock him wide. I think Jeff Wright might have missed the curb. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, he's
did.
got another second, and Yusuf Ghali is now catching up to him. There's about a 1 second gap back to the
Yeah, he's
54.
2 seconds away from Ben Bafford, and that's probably a great sign for Ben Baffert, who might be cruising to his, surprisingly, first win of the season. I think that'll make it 8 different winners in our season. So
Let's go back. We talked about it at the start of the race. What was your pick?
Oh.
Did you
My
pick
pick was
Baffert?
Keith
Did you pick
Mayada.
right?
No, I picked Keith Mayada. Yeah, and he is unfortunately running an 8th after that mistake. We're downshift a little too early, and
Yeah,
Spun, your
that's
pick,
a tough
Yusuf
call.
Ghali in 3rd.
I would have went with Jeff Wright, but I thought it was almost a guarantee, and I like to pick an underdog, somebody that hasn't won. I thought Yusuf Ghali would come out here and put it. Baffert hasn't got a victory yet.
No, which is crazy. He won the All-Star race, but the All-Star race, it's not a points-paying event. I know it pays a little cash, but it's not a points-paying event. His Wright has fallen back now 2 seconds still. Yusuf Ghali, a 1.5 seconds back. No matter what, though, Jeff Wright just needs to keep these consistent runs up, and he'll be cruising maybe to a championship. Bailey Turner, though, falling back to 5th. He needs to hold on here. Oh, Banks almost clips that guardrail here, but Bailey Turner needs to fight really hard here. He gained a lot of points there at Watkins Glen. Right now, he needs to keep those points here.
Yeah, he needs to get up there and get back around Stravato. The easier said than done. Here he is running it out, clips the grass a little bit. They're using all of the racetrack here.
They are.
Every inch of asphalt.
And next week, might I point out, we go to the last great Coliseum in Bristol, Tennessee here. 225 laps. That's going to be a long one.
Joshua Banks is up on the bumper of Bailey Turner. Banks was actually in the clutches of Cabot a moment ago. He's pulled away from Cabot by about a second.
Yeah, and coming up with 6 laps to go here from Watkins Glen. Baffert, a 2.1 second gap over second place Jeff Wright. Nonetheless, a good point stay for Jeff Wright. Bailey Turner, who's second in points, running 5th in this race. He needs to hold off Joshua Banks to keep those points and to not lose too many to the 48 of Jeff Wright.
Yeah, Jeff Wright was struggling there for a minute. I thought that gap was shrinking down between him and Yusuf Ghali. That would have been another advantage that Bailey could pray for, is that Yusuf Ghali gets around the 48 of Jeff Wright, but it looks like Wright's got it back under him. Oh, and he gets really loose through the bus stop. They both do.
What a save from Jeff Wright, and he kept the gap just about the same.
Yusuf Ghali did the same thing.
I know. Both of them very loose, and you can tell these guys are pushing it. These guys are pushing these tires as hard as they can right now.
Ghali comes out the other end of it a little bit better, about 0.3 of a second shaved off of there. But yeah, if Ghali just got through that bus stop clean like normal, he probably would be on the back bumper of Jeff Wright right now.
Yeah, he would be.
Sometimes, man, you race, and that's a product of racing the guy in front of you. You see his line, you follow him in there, and sure enough, you do the exact same thing. It's like synchronized crashing sometimes.
It is. It is.
Oh, we got a car around.
Justin Carey's around.
Is that Carey?
Right. Yeah, he's in the grass in turn 1 there. He's just going to leave it there. He'll probably let everybody go by. I think he's stuck in the grass. He's slowly rolling, inching ahead. He's got to wait a little bit
broke on
here.
that car.
Yeah, he's got to wait for Shieldhouse and Hutton, who are actually battling pretty close to each other here. I think once these guys go by, he should be able to get it. Oh, no, I think he's beached now. And he's good. He's good. He should be going back to normal here. But unfortunately, just not the night for Justin Carey. Well, he had a great night at in Talladega. Was running up there. I think he led a few laps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was the first one to take it 3 wide at certain points in that race as well.
Yeah, that's what's great about Talladega and some of these cars. You just got to get the lines rolling. But unfortunately, up here at a road course, so we know a little bit, it takes a little bit more here at a road course. But nonetheless, still just an awesome racetrack.
Yeah, it's full mental focus 100% of the time. You can't afford to doze off. You can't forget what corner's coming up. You just rhythmically hypnotize yourself to muscle memory. That's how you get around this place.
It is.
So the guy that's figured out the best, we would say, has been Baffert. Jeff Wright has definitely put some practice time in at this place, but it hasn't been enough. 2.8 seconds now, the lead interval. Back to Jeff Wright. Yusuf Ghali is losing a little bit of time again.
And David Shieldhouse are going at it.
Here we go, side-by-side contact. Hutton gets it to the side, into 1. I think Hutton might have locked it up a little bit.
I think he wheel hopped into the corner and just got into the door. That's really going to affect the handling of David Shieldhouse.
Go back here and look at this instant replay. The 88 comes down into turn 1. Side by side and a little wheel hop, I think.
Oh, Shieldhouse over the curb in the bus stop. That's allowed Hutton to close up even more.
So Hutton's back to it now.
Oh,
We know
he just doesn't
Shieldhouse
have
has struggled a
turn.
little bit, but I don't think these
No.
cars are steering enough to pass each other.
No, I think Hutton's got a little bit more bite off the corner. He's able to get some more traction. I think David Shieldhouse just doesn't have the tires right now. He's just struggling here, and he's going to get really tight into the corner there. Yeah, and here comes Hutton. If Hutton can cross him over, although Shieldhouse defensive line into turn number 7, Hutton, he might not have too much patience here as there's been less than 4 put into the tires. He's now into pit road. Man, Hutton has a lot of brake into the braking into the bus stop. He's just got so much more power into the brakes there. As now he'll peek down to the driver's right. He'll show the nose. He'll slide into the corner. But man, look at that Brooks and Dunn Chevrolet, just a little more rotation into the corner.
Yeah, and that drive off is really helping. He's got a little more bite. That might be a product of him saving his stuff here for later in the run. That's another discipline that's really hard to do. Man, really wide here for both of them. He's just trying to get to that inside for this final corner.
If he is, but he's got 2 laps to go here to do it, as Ben Baffert has now opened up to a 5-second lead. 23 in dominating fashion so far, has pulled away from the field, and it's gotten pretty strung out.
Yeah, it's strung out. Bailey Turner has pulled away from Joshua Banks. We saw that a moment ago brewing up. And then Adam Cabot was catching back up to Banks, so now they've spread out.
Yeah.
Everybody's got about 0.8 of a second to a second interval from 3rd back to 7th.
This battle for 9th is where it's really at here. As you can see, Shieldhouse just struggling to get that front end to turn, and now Hutton more struggling to get the gas down, getting the rears to hook up, as Shieldhouse continuing to do what he needs to do. There is 3 laps to go in this race. As Baffert, like I said, is opening to a 5-second gap, but here comes Hutton, able to get a nice run over the second hump. He just can't get there.
Yeah, that car's not
I think he's
rotating
gonna
off
have
that
to maybe move
exit.
his 20 if he wants to get her there, or just gonna cost it's gonna need a big mistake out of Shieldhouse.
Yeah, Shieldhouse is in a very good defensive position too. He's doing a really good job at setting his corners up to not let that 88 get to the inside, even if he does outbrake him like right here.
Yeah, and he's closing with that bumper. That big old Camaro nose is getting closer and closer to that Camaro bumper. The 20, here it comes.
He's gonna lose it. 2 to go.
What a save! 2 laps to go as Baffert has crossed the line already, but now Hutton has a whole second to make up.
It's a lot of work here. It didn't look like those guys were pretty even. 0.6 to come off of turn 1.
I don't know, man. Hutton slid those rears quite a lot.
Yeah, that might be all she wrote for the 88 after wheel hop.
Yeah, we'll see. He's still got, like I said, a lap and a half to go here. He's faster up to the S's. I know he's been sliding around a lot more, but Shieldhouse just doesn't have the front tires left in that car to really make up a lot of time. And so far, at the front, Ben Baffert, 6-second gap over second place Jeff Wright, as Hutton continues to run down David Shieldhouse. But off of the final turn, Ben Baffert sees the white flag. 1 more lap to go in the VSPEED 125 for the 23 Splash and Go Graphics Toyota Supra. He'll take the white. Golly has closed up about 1.3 seconds behind Jeff Wright. But now David Shieldhouse still trying to hold on. He gets to clips the grass there. Hutton back up to his bumper.
Is this the lap that he puts the bumper to him in turn 1?
He might, but he better hope the 20 doesn't get back to him if he is able to do that. Here we go. 1 lap to go for these drivers racing for 9th and 10th. Hutton, what will he do here? Will he be a little more desperate? He's lost a lot of points to Jeff Wright. He's 30 points right now. He might fall back to Ben Baffert or Yusuf Ghali after the strong runs that they've put together so far tonight. As Baffert through the carousel here for the final time. He'll go through the short chute. Jeff Wright, second, but just not enough. As Ghali has really closed the gap up to Wright, it just may not be enough. As now into turn 6, the 23 Toyota Supra will go. And now through the second short chute, he'll go. And then off of turn 7 to where he'll finally see the win that counts. Ben Baffert off of turn number 7. Ben Baffert will come home to see the checkered flag for the first time this season. Baffert wins at the Glen. And now,
and in good fashion.
Yeah, Jeff Wright drifted across the line right to second. Ghali will finish 3rd. Stravato 4th. Bailey Turner 5th. Then Joshua Banks 6th. But here comes behind. He misses him.
He shoots it wide and misses the bumper of the 20.
And looks like David Shieldhouse will be able to hold on. It's not going to be enough. Banks has spun across the line, and David Shieldhouse holds on for 9th. Eric Hutton brings it home 10th. Chris Samard in 11th. Lakatis will come off of 7th for 12th. Carey 13th. Makalski 14th. As Ben Baffert burned it down the straightaway, as I think Banks took quite a hit.
Yeah, he went airborne. I believe it was Yusuf Ghali was sideways in front of him, or I'm not really sure.
I don't know. A little messing around here is Travato closed up quite a lot. Oh, he locked it up there. And, oh!
Yeah, so Ghali just locks it up in the front of the track there. He gets across the line in 3rd. I think Cabot was going to clean him off the track there.
He might have, but like I said, what a race there from Ben Baffert. Dominating fashion as he'll go down the short street. Look at this guy. He's drifting. As a dominating win there for Baffert. I think that makes him 2 for 2 at the Glen here so far. Wow, what a race here. Good race in there. What a battle between him and Jeff Wright. And right now, extending that points lead even more. Baffert leads 30 of the 40 laps. This is a third of the race as he'll burn it down on the front stretch here at Watkins Glen. We'll be right back to interview the top 3, which will be your winner, Ben Baffert, Jeff Wright, and Yusuf Ghali.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader, known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs. You can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
We're back. VSPEED 125 at the Glen has concluded. They got the laps done here tonight. And I know that the lap count up there doesn't quite mimic it correctly, but Ben Baffert, your winner, and we've got our top 3. I'm running down pit road right now trying to catch Yusuf Ghali, your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Yusuf Ghali, you got it into the 3rd spot, but it was just so tough here tonight to get any passes done. You tried to do it on the restart to get past Jeff Wright, but once that run started, it was almost impossible to get the nose under anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. faster. Not much you can do when someone's 6 seconds faster than you at the end of a run.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing going on amongst different groups of people, but you kind of stayed by yourself. You pulled out away from AJ Stravato and maintained that gap. You finish up here with about a 9 second gap, I'd say, to Stravato. What was going through your mind, though, when we had that competition caution? Did you try to clear Jeff as quick as possible, or were you just content to ride behind him?
I was hoping to pass him, but I don't know if it would have changed how the race ended up anyway. I think Ben was faster, Jeff was second fastest, and I was just gonna sit there in third.
Nonetheless, man, you looked really good out there. You kept it clean, shiny side up, and that's 90% of it here at Watkins Glen. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out or thank for third place performance tonight?
Not particularly.
We appreciate your time, Yusuf, and we'll see you hopefully up here in the broadcast booth next week.
Yep.
All right, third place finisher. Sounds like he's having a down day, but Yusuf Ghali getting third. Move on down pit road here. Catch up with our second place finisher. That'll be Jeff Wright. Jeff Wright, it's Alec Martinez, Bradley Cooper in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Jeff, you just get edged out there, and I know you led some laps. You led 10 of them tonight, but Ben Baffert took the lead back, and it was tough to chase him down.
Yeah, Ben was really quick. We knew he was going to be tough here. He's always good at Watkins Glen for sure, and I think he was 3-4 tenths faster than everybody in practice as well. So we knew that was going to be trouble. He was going to be tough to beat tonight. So started the second stage. I figured if I try to push hard here, maybe get the lead, put him back in dirty air. Maybe it'd slow his pace a little bit. But he was just a lot better on the long run than me tonight. He was able to save his rears, and maybe I pushed it a little bit too hard and heated him up. But yeah, I knew it was going to be tough to beat Ben tonight for sure. So happy with the second place finish and able to gain some points on some of the other chase competitors. So all in all, can't be too disappointed.
Yeah, we're sitting good in the points, and you put a little bit of a gap there between you and Bailey Turner. What is it going to take here? Because we're going to Bristol next week. What is it going to take to get around that place and get the win?
Yeah, Bristol's a lot of fun. I really enjoy going there. I know Bailey's really good there as well. And so we've had some good battles there. So, just the fact that we're two guys fighting it here in the points situation as well. And, as well as Eric Hutton, who's right there, not far behind. It's going to be, an entertaining race, I think. Bristol usually puts on a good race. If you can get a long run, you can get a little multi-groove racing there. Some guys can work the bottom. Some guys really, good up top. And so can get hard to pass. So expect that for sure. And just hopefully, with as small as that place is and as crazy as it can be, we're just hoping to get out of there without, an incident, a crash, hopefully, be able to finish. Yeah, exactly. Try to finish, the race, and not get banged up or caught up in a big pileup or something. So that's always kind of on your mind at Bristol. But yeah, we'll go there. It's a place that I've got a lot of confidence at, and I've, done pretty well in the past, I feel like. So I'm excited to go to Bristol for sure.
Well, consistent finishes all season long. Another podium finish here for Jeff Wright. Do you have anyone you would like to shout out for second place tonight?
Yeah, a quick shout out to Reggie. He was on the box tonight. He actually wasn't able to make the race, so he's a little bit late. So instead of dipping out early, he just decided to come hop on the box and help me with on the spotter stand a little bit. We were, wondering if this was going to maybe come into fuel mileage. Thankfully, it didn't. So we were worried about that. So just shout out to Reggie for taking the time out of his day to come help spot me here to the second place finish. And then also shout out to you guys on the broadcast. It's always so much fun. Come back and watch these. You guys do a great job. And then once again, the admins, putting these events on every single week. It's been a really fun season, and just looking forward to get to Bristol now.
Well, looking forward to it. And Jeff, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of you, but congratulations on your second place finish. And hopefully we see you up here in the broadcast booth putting another one together at Bristol.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Bradley.
There he is, your second place finisher. And finally, caught up in victory lane. He was burning it down. He was drifting it all over the racetrack. But we're down here, and Alec Martinez has the interview with your winner, Ben Baffert.
I do. Ben Baffert, Bradley Cooper, Alec Martinez, VSPEED booth. Get a copy, driver?
We got a copy.
Well, buddy, you come home a winner finally. First win of the season in dominating fashion. You lead 30 laps. You had a hard-fought battle with Jeff right after you lost the lead. How's it feel to finally get that first win?
Feels great. I'm glad I finally did something right. I didn't choke. Well, there's no pit stops to choke, but oh, that was a battle. Jeff Wright did a great job. I was finally got a win. Holy shit.
And I know, very exciting to get that win. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit of points here. Next week, we go to Bristol, where we know it'll be tough to pass. It's usually an interesting race. How do you feel about going out there to the Last Great Coliseum?
That's probably my worst track, so we're gonna try to bring it home top 5 at the least. But if things can play in our favor, a little bit of tire saving, a little bit of pit strategy, I think we can come home podium, hopefully a win. But we got a long, hard-fought battle to get back to the front of this point sheet, so we'll do our best.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on the win. A hard-fought win, a dominant win. I got to ask you before we let you go and celebrate. Any people got give a shout out to?
I had to give a shout out to iRacing and their fixed setup makers. That was an absolutely phenomenal setup. Drove perfectly. Definitely wasn't tight at all. Just like the perfect setup. Can't wait to drive another one of those great setups next week.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, brother. Congratulations, and we will see you next week at Bristol.
Absolutely.
Definitely not a lot of sarcasm there out of the winner. It's,
I look forward to it. I really do.
I look
Every
forward to Bristol. I
time.
think Bristol's going to be fun. And you know, that reminded me of, you remember when Kyle Busch won at Bristol in 2007 at the COT car?
And he said it sucked. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
he
remember
said,
that.
I can't stand to drive these things. They suck. So, very, very, very Kyle Busch-esque interview there. But again, Ben Bafford's first win of the season. I believe that makes us 8 different winners this season. So, just shows the competitiveness in BTDY. And what a battle between himself and Jeff Wright. And Bristol next week, that's going to be fun. Last few years have come down to some pretty exciting finishes, some photo finishes, some wild racing. And, you know, it's been pretty green, but there's the last few years, the trends have stayed the same. There's been a caution in the middle of the pit cycle that really jumbles up the order of the race. So we'll see what happens next week. I'm looking forward to getting out there. It should be an awesome race. So we'll go through our final race results here. Ben Bafford, your winner, started on the pole, led 30 laps, kind of cruised home to a victory. Jeff Wright continues to his championship I don't know what you want to call it, his championship surge,
run?
so well. Championship run, pretty much, as he gains points over Bailey Turner. But Jeff Wright, second, leads laps. Yusuf Ghali comes home third, starts fifth, comes home third. How about AJ Serrano? Up 11 spots, started 15th, comes home in fourth.
Incredible.
Fifth, Bailey Turner. Sixth, Joshua Banks. Seventh, Adam Cabot. Eighth will be Keith Maiano in eighth. Ninth, David Shieldhouse. And 10th was Eric Hutton.
Yeah, tough break there for Keith Maiano, falling all those positions there on that restart. Chris Samard is going to bring it home in 11th position with Casey Lakatos in 12th. 13th will go to Justin Carey. Tough break for him. He spun it out, but he was able to get it back upright and finish the race. Noah Mikowski is going to bring it home in 14th. And then these cars, from here on out, I believe, parked it behind the wall at some point. Ryan Gamel, Dennis Faircloth, Max Cost, Mark McFadden, Reggie Ortega, and Nick Starling were all behind pit wall. So, it was a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel here on VSPEED so you never miss a single race as we bring you BTDY's chase for the championship. Ben Bafford gets it done here tonight, and he's trying to run away from a very hungry Jeff Wright, who's leading this points battle as we go to Bristol next week. Hope you can join us 8:35 Eastern Time, Tuesday nights. Monday, we're going to have another broadcast for you, VSRL. They're going to be going to Dover, and that'll begin at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So we hope that you guys subscribe to the channel, catch all these races, and Adam Baker will be running with the Thursday night broadcast. I believe that's still going on, is it not, Alec?
It is. I think so. The BMW Car Club of America will be racing on VSPEED 2 on Thursday. Those guys always put on a good show with those DPI prototypes. So should be fun. Tune into that one, and then obviously the VSRL Set Truck Series, and then obviously on Tuesdays for BTDY and continue the chase for the championship. So it should be fun.
Outside of that, we thank you for your time, guys. We hope to see you next week. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swag.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.